What's up everyone, it's Hitman89, hope you're having an awesome day. Sorry if I sound a little too nasally, I'm sick. Anyway, RuneScape Dragonwilds went into early access a couple of months ago with very little content, only one class progression, and terrible optimization. But now that it finally received an update and a couple of hot fixes, I thought I'd give it another shot in order to answer the following question. Is RuneScape Dragonwilds good now? Let's find out. But first, don't forget that the best place to get your PC games is on Instant Gaming. Why? Because they're always cheaper, even if you get them day one. Do you prefer older games? They're dirt cheap here. And if you happen to be on console, you can get your Game Pass Ultimate subscriptions and PSN gift cards too. Instant Gaming is 100% legit. All the games come straight from the authorized resellers. So use the link in the description and get everything you need for cheap. RuneScape Dragonwilds is an open world survival game where you harvest resources, gear up, and fight dragons.
But Hitman, what makes Dragonwilds different than the 69 million other survival games out there?
Excellent question, Leon Carandy. Well, there's the rune magic system. Yeah, that's it. So Dragonwilds is basically Valheim meets Enshrouded, but worse. Cause the world isn't voxel based, so no digging holes or even smashing basic stuff like barrels and boxes. You can only break very specific objects, like this part of the wall. Let's talk about the good stuff though. Every skill, fighting, crafting, cooking, etc. gives XP. Level up enough and you won't just get better at it. Now here, you also unlock rune powers that let you do awesome stuff like summon a magic axe that chops off all the trees in a line, jump super high, enchant your weapon, turn trees to bones, and some other cool stuff that I'll let you discover. But when it comes to fighting enemies, the leveling system doesn't seem to matter. Your gear level is pretty much the only thing that's gonna determine whether you get your ass kicked or not. At least exploring a new area is always fun, right? Nope, you'll most likely run in circles, mining, while getting chased by stronger enemies, all to farm just enough resources to craft higher level gear, so you can finally face these fuckers and not get too shot. I mean, thank god the AI sucks. Check out how these stupid goblins completely forget about me mid-chase, and even when I hit them with magic or shoot them with my arrows, they barely react. RuneScape Dragonwilds supports up to 4 players in co-op, which I recommend if you wanna enjoy the game, cause personally, I played it with my brother, we turned friendly fire on, just so we can beat the shit out of each other whenever we get into an argument. So he played this game with me until he got sick of dying and walking 10 minutes just to get his stuff back. Oh, and in this dungeon, he accidentally killed me, then he died and rage quit. Never came back. At launch, only one class had a skill tree, Warrior, so if you used magic or a bow, you wouldn't gain any XP. 2 months later, they've now added a progression system for the mage, and they gave him a new skill, Surge, which lets him teleport out of harm's way like this. If you wanna play as an archer, you can obviously use a bow, but you won't gain any XP. For that, you'll have to wait until the skill tree is added in September? Is this game being developed by 2 people? Seriously, you can max out everything and pretty much beat the game within like 20 hours, then you'd have to wait 3 fucking months to get 15 minutes worth of new content. Yeah, Dragonwilds is one of those games that went into early access too soon, and that's terrible, cause I really thought there would be a couple of major updates within the first month. No wonder why the game's gone from having 50k active players to 700 in no time. And based on the roadmap they released, it looks like we'll have to wait until the end of 2026 to get all the basic stuff. So yeah. Alright, let's talk about the graphics and performance a little. The world is vibrant and beautiful, and I really like how almost everything is animated, even these crafting stations. Now, I don't know about you, but I really love it when a game has good physics, and this one does. Look how this boulder rolls in a super realistic way. I mean, I've never seen anything like this in real life, so I don't know whether it's realistic or not. What I'm trying to say is, the physics are great, and the graphics are pretty decent too. Optimization wise though, it's not good. If you have something like a 3060, you'll have to play on low at 1080p if you want to get 60 FPS. Personally, on my 4080, I get between 50 and 60 FPS at 4K max settings with DLSS set to balanced. And when I turn on frame generation, I get around 100 frames per second. Keep in mind, I could easily double my frame rate just by going from epic to high and by playing at 1440p instead of 4K. But I'm not gonna do that, cause I'm a graphics whore. Anyway, I like the soundtrack, especially the music that plays during combat. Check it out. Dragons spitting poison and hunt parties constantly going after you were a huge problem at launch. They've now been nerfed, but it's still annoying. Here, for example, as soon as I was done with the warband that attacked my base, I got the "You are being hunted" message and I had to fight another group of enemies. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's easy, but it still happens way too often for it to be even remotely fun. Speaking of which, the combat system kinda sucks. Melee is great, cause in this game, every fight basically comes down to whoever stuns their opponent first. So you'll be fine as long as you strike first and have enough stamina to keep going till everyone's dead. Oh yeah, sometimes you'll also see shit like this. Guys, trust me, in this game, you'll want to use any glitch you get to your advantage, cause dying is a pain in the ass. It's way too punishing. The only thing you keep when you die is your armor. Yeah, you find yourself with no weapons in a game where you can't outrun most enemies. Seriously, I'm usually a cold-blooded piece of shit, but walking 10 minutes to retrieve my corpse just to get killed immediately after, 4 times in a row, really pissed me off. This is exactly how I imagine the devs react every time a player dies from this bullshit. All jokes aside now, I like figuring out recipes on my own by basically experimenting with different ingredients, and you can do that in Dragonwilds. That's why I like the crafting system. Another thing I really like is how easy it is to build simple stuff like the shitty house I made. You can also have some medieval RGB action with these red, green and blue torches. Oh, and there is a rune spell that lets you go in like this and have a better view while building stuff. Very useful. Now, while exploring Ashenfall, you'll come across vaults, which are basically dungeons, and the traps kinda reminded me of the ones in Enshrouded, except that game has a lot of parkour, and this one barely lets you jump over ankle-level obstacles, so I don't know what we're doing. Seriously, regular jumps in this game are absolutely terrible, but hey, at least the voice acting is great. Let's just move on to the verdict. RuneScape Dragonwilds is not a bad game, but it's not good either, and even though I kinda like it, I honestly cannot recommend it for how little content it's got and how slow the updates are. That's why, for now, I'm giving it a 5.5 out of 10. I recommend waiting at least until the end of the year if you don't want to end up with a survival game you can beat in a weekend. Maybe for like 15 bucks, and only if you plan on playing it every now and then. But if I were you, I'd just play Valheim or Enshrouded. And that's gonna be it for this review. If you found it helpful and maybe funny, then please hit the like button and subscribe. I'm doing Elden Ring Night Rain in a couple of days, so stay tuned. It's been Hitman89. Have a good one.
I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see, I will out